Hi everyone, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Robin, or Hobbit Reading List. And as you can judge by the title, we're doing things a little bit differently this week. We are not just doing a regular old let's read from my TBR, which I only have 2 books left anyway, but we are letting CoStar, the astrology app, pick my next read. So I'm predicting that I won't read any books from my TBR this week, but that's okay, because like I said, I only have 2 left. And I'm really curious because I'm someone who, 1, is very seasonal, and 2, thrives on randomness. I literally let like a spinny wheel make my decisions on my days off of like when I'm going to do things. And I think that this is just gonna be like really fun. So let's get into it. If you don't know what CoStar is, it is an astrology app that does a chart reading and gives you daily horoscopes. You can also add friends, and it tells you how your signs interact with theirs, and it's really interesting. I enjoy it because sometimes the daily horoscopes are like either weird or like vaguely threatening, like the Duolingo owl, or they're just like legit horoscopes. So today mine literally says, become stronger, which, great. I'll work on that. Thanks, CoStar. It also gives you do's and don'ts for the day to appease the stars. I'm not sure why, but I do think it's really fun. So for example, my do's today are to ask deep questions, find a new favorite spot, and mail a postcard? I don't know. The don't is hurt feelings, dramatic gestures, and regrets. Which, like, okay, that makes sense. So what I'm going to do in order to let CoStar pick my books is I'm going to look at the do's, and if I have a book on my shelves that literally have like if I have a book that has a postcard on the cover, great. If I have a book with one of the words, like one of the keywords, like postcard, question, spot, something like that, in the title, great. Or if it just fits the vibes, then I will also pick that. So I tested it with a book last week with Don't Want to Be Your Monster, and I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was just like exciting of like, ooh, what's CoStar gonna tell me today? So I'm really interested to see how this impacts my week. So I'm going to keep looking at these do's and then pick a book, and I will let you know what I will be reading today. Okay. I love this. So I have decided that The Little Village of Book Lovers by Nina George is going to be my new favorite spot. There are a couple reasons. I was trying to balance all 3, but I was definitely leaning towards new favorite spot because I felt like that could be interpreted in a lot of different ways, and so I was focusing on like setting a lot. But also this takes place in France, and the Olympics will be starting this week, and so I was like, perfect, 2 seasonal things at once. I don't know if it takes place in the summer or not, but it kind of looks like it does, or maybe autumn. Oh well. This is kind of a prequel to, I guess, a book called The Little Paris Bookshop. Yeah. In that, the main character finds and reads a book that inspires that character to create like a floating bookstore in Paris, I believe. This is the book that he read. It is about an orphan named Marie Jean. I'm so sorry to anyone who speaks French watching me. I am not good with the French language. I'm going to call her Marie because that's what I can pronounce. And even then, I'm pretty sure I'm still pronouncing it wrong. But she is an orphan, and she has a special ability to see the marks of love that people have on them. And these marks, kind of like soulmate identifying marks, glow brighter when the person that they're destined to be with, their soulmate, is near. And so Marie travels with her foster father, setting up like little village bookstores. Oh, they create a mobile library that travels throughout the many, what does it say? Oh, the many like mountain villages in the region of Nyons? Sorry. I'm gonna look up how to pronounce that. I could probably look up how to pronounce her name too, but Nyons. Okay. Anyway, so she and her foster father create this mobile library, and along the way she is playing matchmaker with some, success, obviously, because she can see the marks, and books seem to play a pivotal role in that. And she is also like, while she's happy to do that, she's also upset because she doesn't have marks that love has left on her. She doesn't have marks that will let her know when her soulmate is there, or at least she can't see them. And so she is hopeful that she also has a soulmate, but she doesn't know. I think this is going to be a very sweet book. And it also, like, it feels very short. Like, it's less than 250 pages. So I'm so excited for this. All right, I'm going to get started reading, and I will let you know what I think of this and if CoStar helped me or did me wrong. Okay, so I started reading the Little Village of Book Lovers. I only read like 35 pages. It is written in a very interesting way. it I don't know how to describe it. So I sort of gave the synopsis, but the way it's written is like different aspects of the human experience are kind of personified, but they're still like invisible entities. Like love is a big factor in this story and has some sort of connection with our main character Marie from when she's a baby. But there's also like reason and lust and death and I'm trying to remember something other, desire, and so it's kind of like in some ways it's kind of giving me like Sandman vibes because of like the endless are, 7 siblings who are the I can't say that word, anthropomorphic, I think, personification of like a concept, but there are only 7 of them, whereas in the Little Village of Book Lovers there's all of them. And so like there's that, and then it doesn't just stick to Marie. I've only read 35 pages, but what it seems to be doing is following Marie, but also the perspectives are from people who are around her. It hasn't given Marie's perspective yet. So it's very interesting. I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but I don't know if like as Marie gets older, because I think she's only like 10 or so, where I am on page 35. As she gets older, maybe it will focus more on her perspective. So there's that. I'm going to take it to work with me. I don't know if I'll have time to read it, because I do have a lot of meetings today. But I will take it to work with me, and I will try to, read it throughout this week, because I would like to at least have maybe 3 books this week. So speaking of, I need to figure out what my audiobook is going to be. So we're going to look at what my horoscope says. So, okay, interesting. Thank you, co-star, for saying that. I'm still young. I didn't think that I wasn't, but thanks, co-star. That makes me feel away. Now I wonder if I should feel old. Okay, so my do's are Ferris wheel, good morning text, and blindfolds. I don't have any books springing to mind, so I will be looking through my collection. My don'ts are interesting. Don't ditch friends, don't overestimate, and do not infatuate, I guess. Good advice. Alright, so I'm going to see what I can find that matches any of those 3 prompts. So let's look at my books. Okay, so that took me a minute. Because those are hard prompts. So I was sort of thinking like romance would probably fit the vibe, if not like the specifics. And I narrowed it down to 3 choices, 2 of which were romance, 1 was like I guess historical fiction. The other 2 that I didn't end up picking were both located in Chicago. So the romance, I figured, would have good morning texts. And because it was in Chicago, I figured it would make sense that they would go to Navy Pier, which has a Ferris wheel. And so that was my train of thought. The other one was historical fiction, and so it was kind of just the Ferris wheel train of thought because of Chicago. But also in the synopsis, there was something about like the main character like meeting gangsters, and I'm like, well, a gangster might blindfold. So so that was my train of thought. And then the other book, which I ended up picking, which is Electric Idol by Katee Robert, I picked because of the blindfold, because Electric Idol is the second book in the, what is it? What is the series called? I forgot what the series is called. But it's the second book in a series that is sort of like a reimagining and modernizing of the Greek myths. And so Electric Idol is a story of Psyche and Eros, but with like a sort of like dark romance spin on it. But Psyche and Eros, for the like first part of their marriage, Psyche isn't allowed to see Eros. And so I was like, okay, well, while I don't think that will be the case in this book, there might be blindfolds in there somewhere. Because there definitely was in the first book in the series, Neon Gods. So that was my thought process. I didn't quite know which one I wanted, and so first I checked to see if any were available at my library on audio. None of them were. So then I listened to samples of all 3 on Audible, and Electric Idol was the one that sounded the best to me. I wasn't a huge fan of the narration on the other 2. So I will be reading Electric Idol, or listening to Electric Idol, I guess. It says it's, I think, about 11 hours on single speed, which means that it is... Alright, well, it says I have total 8 hours and 43 minutes left. So, I probably won't finish it this week, but I will definitely finish it within a week. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I might just do what I did last vlog and like anything that I have left over by Sunday, just read physically. So that's what's up. So right now we are reading The Little Village of Book Lovers and Electric Idol, which I think could not be more different. One is super fluffy, soulmate, not even real like romance. And the other one is a dark romance that will likely involve blindfolds. So I love the contradiction here. But I'm gonna go ahead and head out and start listening to the audiobook, and I will let you know what I think tomorrow. Good morning. So I have... Oh, I'm so tired. Okay. I last filmed on Wednesday. I started listening to Electric Idol by Katee Robert. I'm actually really enjoying it. I've always loved the story of Psyche and Eros. And even though Dark Olympus, which is the series name, it doesn't quite follow like the actual myth. It has elements of it, and so I'm still enjoying the book, even though it's not, you know, it's not adhering to a lot of the myth. But Electric Idol is, as I said, the second book in the Dark Olympus series, and it is following Psyche, who is in this world the daughter of Demeter, and she, through no fault of her own, quite honestly, has, just like the original myth, has upset Aphrodite. Aphrodite tells Eros to fix the problem, because that is his role in this world, is to be her fixer. He essentially is viewed as like a monster because even he says he has no conscience. He, will kill people, ruin people's reputation because his mother told him to. But in his perspective, we see that he does actually have a conscience. It's just, maybe comes out a little differently than like other people. But he definitely has one towards Psyche, because Psyche has always been nice to him, which apparently is a big deal, unfortunately, which is really sad. But so when he is told to kill Psyche because Aphrodite is petty, he doesn't want to do it, so he comes up with a different solution. They're gonna get married. Which is not... is an interesting spin on the original myth. So I can't help but compare it to the myth, just because, like, as I said, like, it's one of my favorites. But I'm enjoying it. I like their banter. I like the mutual attraction that they have. So it's really enjoyable. And I looked at my CoStar app yesterday, not because I needed to pick a book, but just because I get notified every day. And one of the dues was Greek mythology. And so I was like, oh, okay. So there's that. I listened to about 3 hours. Obviously, I'll listen to more today. I should get more than 3 hours, because I'll be driving home tonight when it's rush hour. So I'll be stuck in traffic. But let's see. I went shopping with Stephanie yesterday because I was looking for a new sports bra, and if there are any plus size women out there, you know that finding a sports bra just like in a regular old store is really super difficult. But I wanted to be able to try it on because ordering sports bras online for plus size women is just as difficult, quite honestly. So we ended up going to 4 different stores. We ended up at the mall of Victoria's Secret, where I finally found one. Well, I found 2. And then since we're at the mall, we're like, well, let's shop. So we went shopping. We surprisingly did not go to a bookstore. I did not read, well, so Wednesday I read maybe like 20, 30 more pages of The Little Village of Book Lovers. I was going to start reading it yesterday, but then I realized I had a work thing I needed to do, so I didn't. So we will see. I'm hoping I'll be able to read more tonight, because I want to finish it, not because I'm not enjoying it, although it's still a little interesting. The writing style, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I want to finish it so that I can pick another book using CoStar. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm just like, what else? And now I have to go to work, and I'm so busy all day. I'm like, I might try to read like in between meetings, but I doubt it, just because I don't know. I never end up like getting to it. And if I don't have a break, I don't end up reading. So I'm not looking forward to today. It's going to be very long. But we're going to do it. I have a Diet Coke. I will probably be drinking lots and lots of caffeine today because I'm very tired. So let's go do it. Bastion is so mad at me because I dared put my phone on the tree. He like meowed and then like very aggressively jumped down. Not gonna lie, in this moment, I am kind of annoyed. I will get over it very quickly, but I want to acknowledge that before I continue. I am going to DNF this. My annoyance is only partially informed by this and something else that's situational, and it's not a big deal. It's fine. I'll get over it. There is no story. I have read nearly 100 pages. I'm on 96. Taking my bookmark out. And while the summary like sounds really interesting, we haven't gotten there. Like, Marie is still 11. She's still figuring out this like ability she has, which that's fine. But we only get Marie's perspective like for a couple pages, and then it goes to some other person, and we have to know everything in their backstory before the story actually continues. And it's just giving me such like Last Summer at the Golden Hotel vibes, where that was exactly what happened. I had to know everything about the character. Like, I had to know everything about the character whose perspective we were in before the story could actually continue. And I just don't want to do it again. Like, this book sounded like it was going to be very, like, cute and whimsical. And I guess in some ways it is, but I just don't like this way of storytelling. I don't care about the baker and how he like kisses his wife, because he doesn't impact the plot. And what made me get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm DNFing, is the fact that like we were introduced to a character that like is literally miles away from the main characters, and we were getting told about her backstory and how her father never appreciated her and how she was constantly like striving to make herself better in order to be worthy of love. And like, that's interesting, but like, I don't care, because she's not going to impact the story. And I can just see like the way that it was written. I can see that this is going to keep happening, because the whole point is Maria's matching people up with their soulmates. And I just know that we're going to end up getting all the information about the soulmates before she does that, and then they're going to disappear and not ever appear in the story again. And that really bugs me. I'm like, if you're going to introduce a character, unless it's literally like the baker who doesn't have a name, like, that's fine, but like, don't introduce a character, tell me all this information, and then they not show up in the story again. That is so annoying. So that's it. Yeah, so I'm gonna DNF this. That's so annoying. I did say that I wanted to be able to pick a third book to read this week, but not like this. I wanted to finish this, but I know that I'm not gonna enjoy it, and it would get a super low rating for me. So my plan is I'm going to take a shower, and then I already know what my prompts for the day are, but I will go ahead and like film another clip in my library trying to find a book that matches them. The only one I can remember, can I remember any of them? Oh, the only one I can remember is like Boombox, but I don't know. I think I have a book that fits that prompt, but I might not. I might be wrong. But I have 2 other ones I can't remember right now. So I will film that after I take a shower. I'm going to cool down, and then we're going to just continue. Okay, so I'm not going to film in my library just because I went through my TBR list on Storygraph, because that includes not only the books on my physical shelves, but just literally every book that I have that I haven't read. And the last 2 times I was looking for books, I was only looking on my shelves, which meant that any book that wasn't on my shelf, for whatever reason, whether I had just bought it, or I was using it for something else, or it's an ebook, like, obviously those weren't being included. So I looked through my TBR list instead, and when I looked at CoStar, my prompts were, oh crap, cartwheels, boombox, and choreography. Obviously, I'm putting up the video of CoStar so that you can see it, but I'm doing it from memory. And I was going through my list, but after the disappointing read with the Little Village of Books Love, or whatever, I'm over it. I'm just so annoyed. I just wanted something that I was kind of excited about, and so I decided that I was going to read the book that I have on my Kindle, and it has been the book that is like on the widget I have on my home screen, so I just keep seeing it. I'll be reading His Prejudice and His Pride by April Andrews, which is a queer retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but it is also Omegaverse. So in addition to lords and ladies, you get alphas and omegas, and guys, I love Omegaverse so much. That's really it. That's really all I have to say. I'll be very interested, because I couldn't see there's nothing on Storygraph about whether it was explicit or not. And so knowing Pride and Prejudice, like, obviously that it's not explicit. I don't even know, I think there's like 1 kiss, maybe 2 in the entire story. But Omegaverse is predominantly like a smutty trope. So I'll be interested. I'm very curious, like, what's going to happen. I will probably start reading that later today. Very excited, and I think I'll be able to finish it this weekend, because generally reading books on my phone is like, it's just faster. I just blow through them. So I want to give you an update, and then I'm going to keep cuddling with Reese because he's so cute. He's looking at me like my talking woke him up, and he's very upset I'm not petting him. So I'll talk to you guys later. Someone wanted attention. Hey. So I'm just gonna hold him until he gets tired of it, and then I'll put him down. But I wanted to update you and also wrap up the vlog. I promise he does actually like this. He kind of looks tortured right now. So, can I put you down? No? Okay. All right. So, the 2 books that I was reading this weekend, I'm still reading them. I haven't finished. Oh, you're done now? I'm still reading them. I did not finish them because yesterday I woke up at 4 a.m. to watch the women's gymnastics qualifying. The USA made it, which is awesome. But so I woke up at 4, I watched that, then I got ready for work, and then I went to work. And so because of that, I ended up going to bed. I ended up going to bed at 9 p.m. I did still like make a good chunk in most of the things. So let's start with, oh my god, what is it called? Is it Electric Idol? Maybe? The Psyche Arrow story. I don't remember. I have 2 hours left of the audiobook. I had considered like reading it physically when I got home last night, but after I got home and then I cooked dinner. Don't do it, Bastion, don't. No. So after I got home last night and then I cooked dinner and I ate dinner, by then I was just really tired. I wasn't gonna. Hi. You're kind of interrupting. He's just like, I want attention. I'm like, you gonna lay down? No, he's just gonna keep messing up my camera angle. Okay, I've moved to a slightly more secure position. Bastion will probably come back. I went to pick him up and then I dropped the phone, which scared him, so he ran away. And he's back. Okay. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? You want to be a little baby? Yeah. I completely forgot what I was talking about. You made me forget. I have no idea what I was saying. I have 2 hours left. Maybe that's what I was saying. I don't know. I have 2 hours left of the Psyche and Arrow story. And I am enjoying it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna read it physically. I didn't have enough time. Not that I didn't have time. I was just tired. That's it. I was really tired. I went to bed. So I have 2 hours left. So I will be finishing it in next week's vlog. And I'm enjoying it. I will leave you with that. So CoStar did me a solid. Gave me a horoscope where I was able to pick a book that I'm really enjoying. The only bad thing about it, which isn't a bad thing at all, is that I like it a lot, and so I'm kind of getting like inspired by it, which is making me pause the book so that I can think about what is in my head, which is not helpful for finishing the book. But I have a car appointment later today, so I will listen to some of it today, and maybe I'll just read the rest physically. I don't know, but I am really enjoying it. I would predict like a 4-star. So there's that. The other book that I'm reading is His Pride and His Prejudice by April Andrews, which is, as I said before, an Omega-verse Pride and Prejudice. I am really enjoying it. It's different enough to where I don't feel like I'm reading Pride and Prejudice again, but obviously it's set in the same Regency era, but it's a Omega-verse. But I do like it. We get, and I don't think this happened in Pride and Prejudice. It's been like over a year since I read it, but we are getting Darcy's perspective a little bit more than I think we did in Pride and Prejudice. I don't remember if we got Darcy's perspective at all, now that I think about it. So I do like that, because it's able to give Darcy a little bit more of like no, he's socially awkward and he's very rigid, but he's not an asshole. so there's that. But I do like it. I really love the Megaverse. I know I said this on Saturday when I picked it up, but I just really love it. So I read like 10% yesterday, because since I have it on my Kindle, it's really easy for me to just read in between meetings. I don't know why I can't do that with physical books. I think there's something about like picking the physical book up and then flipping to the chapter. Like, I feel that takes time. I don't know, but I'm way more comfortable like reading a couple pages on my phone in between meetings rather than reading a couple of physical. I don't understand the logic. But anywho, I'm really enjoying it. I'm only 20% in, so I don't think I can give you like a star rating prediction, but I do really like it. So like the 20% that I've read so far, I would give a 5-star, quite honestly. I don't remember what my like prompt was that let me pick. Oh, it was choreography, because of all the, I don't know if I explained that logic. God, this is gonna be such a bad ADD day. The prompt is choreography, and I picked it because obviously I read Pride and Prejudice before, but also with any kind of like Regency era book, there are balls, and the balls have dances, which have choreography. There's the logic. And there's already been 2 balls where they have danced, so I was right. But yeah, so that's sort of where we're at. I am bummed that the first book I picked, I just couldn't get through. But I'm really enjoying these other ones, so I'm going to really try to focus on hopefully finishing them later today, and then next week I can finish, well, I won't finish my July TBR, but I would like to at least finish 2 more books from it, including Heart of Darkness. So that's where I'm at. If you like this idea, like, please leave me a comment, like the video. Let me know if you would like me to do it again. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it'll be a monthly thing, but I am definitely willing to do it like once a quarter. Like, I think it would be really fun to do like seasonally, because obviously a lot of the prompts that I got for this week were very like summery, and like I got like romance book vibes, which makes sense because I did pick 3 romances. But I'd be interested to do it in like October and see if I got more like autumn Halloween-y prompts. I probably would. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Let me know if you're interested. Subscribe, click notification bell, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.